cool.
My computer is just really freaking out for some reason.
Oh, well, hopefully it doesn't freak out during the interview.
No, I had to restart it like twice.
Oh, that's no good.
It's old like me.
Oh,
Oh,
you look the same since I started listening to you in 2000. So you look great.
Oh, God bless you. That's so sweet. But
What did I do? Oh, here it is. All right. Very cool. Okay, let's start the show. Here we go.
Looking for some new podcasts to listen to?
This is the promo.
Well, look no further than the Ratsaw Review Network. Ratsaw Review is taking over the podcast world with plenty of shows to choose from within their network of entertaining programming, including the flagship show, Ratsaw Review, with Wayne Noon, Greg Noggle, and Lou Mavs, as well as occasional co-hosts Manny Mejias and James Lilquist. We also have the official Ratsaw Review spin-offs, such as Album vs. Album, Screams from the Grave, where we discuss beloved yet forgotten hard rock and metal albums of the past, and a King Diamond podcast called This Broadcast Belongs to Them. We've also got Old Man Metal's Music, The Right Opinion with Harrison Bergeron, Beyond Bushido, a podcast dedicated to pro wrestling and MMA with James Lilquist and Eric Adams.
No relation to the guy from Manowar or the mayor of New York City.
The Vieira Bowl with Ralph Vieira.
Schmack-a-magob!
Schmack-a-magob to you too, Ralph. The Timo Tolkki podcast featuring Stradivarius and Avalon founding member Timo Tolkki. The BS Sessions with Mark and Jerry. Just the Cheese, Please, a podcast dedicated to cheesy films of the 1980s with Tara J. and Adam. The Friday Night Party with the great Harry Barnett and Evie. And the Music is Life podcast with Lou Mavs. The Ratsaw Review Network is your go-to one-stop shop for the best podcasts out there today. Go to ratsawreview.com for more info. And to find out where you can find, follow, subscribe, and comment on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and all streaming platforms. The Ratsaw Review Network. We're taking over.
yeah.
It's time for Red Salad Review with your hosts, Wayne Noon, Greg Noggle, and Lou Mavs.
All right. Hello. Welcome to Rat Salad
Nice.
Review.
The fact that our guest hasn't run off yet is a testament to her kindness.
Yeah.
How do you-
My only objection to the intro, Wayne, how come I'm not wearing shoes?
Oh, you're not wearing shoes? Oh, I'll have to fix that then. I'm sorry.
Black Vans, preferably. Thank you.
Well, tonight we are joined with Lana Lane. Welcome, Lana.
We
Thank
are
you so
not
much.
worthy.
No, we are.
Oh,
not
stop.
whatsoever.
Awesome. I'm so happy to be here. It's been a while since I've been interviewed and talked with, so it's fun.
All right, cool. Awesome. Yeah, when you came up to get an interview, I'm like, oh my God, I haven't really seen any interviews with you, in a long time, really. So
I know.
it was cool to see you do this. So
Yeah.
very glad that you're doing it. And the new album's really awesome. We'll talk about that.
Thank you.
And one thing though that I did not know about, and when I was looking up you on Facebook, you have a gourmet food business.
That I do.
Please do
That's
tell.
my-
Yeah,
That's
tell
my
us.
second love.
Yeah.
First music and then food. I started it back in 2010, I guess, shortly after my father died, because he was a huge Lana Lane fan, and he would get the
Wow.
CDs and open them and read the booklet front to back. And I
Sorry
didn't
for your
really
loss.
do much singing after that, because
Oh, okay.
it felt like every time I tried to sing a note, I would start to cry, and it was
Right.
just really heavy for me. So, but I needed a creative outlet, and he was a fantastic cook, and I learned from him and my aunt. And so my brother owned a coffee house in the town that we live in, and he said that I could start selling my stuff there if I wanted to, which I did. And then it just kind of grew from there. I do specialty jams, jellies, spice nuts, tapenades, mustards. Yeah, so it's fun.
Lou, you're on mute, Lou.
Damn it, I'm on mute. Do you import it to people who want to purchase it,
I was
or
just
is it
gonna
only
Of course,
sold in
yeah, no,
stores?
you can buy online, and yeah. Yep, it's all
Okay,
available there.
I want to try some of that tapenade and
Yeah.
mustards. That's cool.
I love the spicy jams. Like I do a raspberry jalapeno, a mango pineapple habanero, a marionberry habanero.
Sold.
Yeah, I like the spicy.
I'm a hot sauce fanatic, so that sounds great.
Cool.
But I can't do hotter than a ghost pepper. Anything other than that, call me an ambulance.
Me neither. As you notice, there's no ghost peppers in any of my stuff. So
That's okay. I
not
can take
yet,
habanero and jalapeno. That's fine.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of gluten-free options, which obviously now, Lou, your wife has to do a lot of gluten-free foods and stuff. You too.
Yes, Wayne. What else in my private life would you like to expose on the
Hey,
internet?
I'm promoting her stuff, so it's it's good for you and your
Yes,
wife.
And vegan. I have vegan,
And vegan
stuff
as well.
too.
So
My wife does have to maintain a gluten-free lifestyle, and I'm doing it with her to offer support. So
Yeah. Well, I had an aunt that had celiac disease. And I wasn't doing any gluten-free items, but I tasted some of the stuff that she was eating and it was terrible. So I thought, you know what, I need to figure out a way to make some things that, give her pleasure, because just eating to eat is no fun. I mean, it should give you pleasure like music and fill your belly and soul. That's what I think. So anyway,
I
That's
agree with you. I mean, yeah, you're right. Gluten-free food, vegan food, plant-based foods come a long way. In terms of
they
how
really
it's-
have. They really have. They don't taste like, cardboard anymore. And especially my items.
I was gonna. What is the secret to make it taste better? Because I
Love. That's the secret.
Well, that's that too.
Well, it is love, but it's also, you have to, I blend a lot of different gluten-free flours, because a lot of people just use rice, which is kind of gritty, and other people use just amaranth, which is, it crumbles, when you put it in a baked good, it crumbles. So I do a combination of amaranth, rice, just different, probably 5 different gluten-free flours, so that your mouthfeel is like a normal glutinous item. It's not all dry and
Right.
yucky.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll definitely have to put the link at the bottom of the description. Wayne, don't forget.
I won't. I'll try not to forget. I'll do it right after we do the show. But where can people go to find that?
LanaLaneGourmetGoods.com.
Very cool. And where is that?
It is in Placerville, beautiful Placerville, California. We're about an hour east of South Lake Tahoe. So up in the Sierra foothills.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Which
Beautiful.
brings me to one of the songs on your album is how you miss California.
Yes.
Going, through all your tours and everything in Europe and Japan and everything. And so you've lived in California basically your whole life, or did you move there, or?
Yeah, no, I was born and raised in Northern California.
Okay.
And then in the 80s, I moved to Southern California to sing and met Eric. And then we lived there probably 20 years. I guess Eric was born and raised in Hollywood, so he's from Southern California. And then we moved up here to Placerville because my father was ill. And so we didn't, as Eric said, wherever you are, home is, so that we needed to be close to my parents. So
Right.
that was very nice of him to do.
What a
Because he
mensch.
left all
That's a
his
good man.
family. Yeah, he's a good man.
He must be. I mean, you work with him with all your music and everything, so he must be a somewhat decent guy.
Yeah. I get asked that a lot. It's we're best friends as well as, creative people and a married couple. And
Right.
I'm not needy. He's not needy. So, it works. And I can understand for some people that it wouldn't work to be with your spouse,
Right.
that often. But when you're creating something, it's probably a little bit different than if you were just, hanging out for 24/7.
Right. Does he work with you with your food, your gourmet foods too, or no? Or is that strictly your
He
stuff?
tastes a lot. He's my sampler.
He's the human guinea pig.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be like, ooh, yeah. Well, he doesn't like a lot of fruits. And so, if I make something with blueberries or raspberries or something like that, could you make it in vanilla? It's like, no. I mean, yes, but also, some fruits.
Just because he plays keyboards and last in line, he thinks he's hot stuff.
That's right,
I get it.
right? Like, oh,
So when you guys do work together on music, does he come up with the music parts, or do you play instruments as well besides just singing, or how does that work?
I do play piano.
Piano, obviously.
Not well.
Yeah.
Not well enough to play in front of people, but I write on piano and I write on acoustic guitar. One regret I have is never learning how to read music. So what'll happen is I will write something on piano, and then Eric will have to come up and I'll have to show him where my hands are, and he'll be like, what the hell is that? What kind of chord is that? I said, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. And he's like, well, it's not really a chord, but it sounds awesome. So that's how my songs come to be. Eric usually will record reference tracks in the studio and then play them for me. And then if I have changes, he does them. And if not, it just moves forward and gets more fleshed out, as time goes by.
Yeah. That's one of my regrets too. Because me and Lou, but he plays guitar and bass, and I play drums. And I took lessons when I was little, but nothing like major where I would learn, the notes and stuff like that. So I always regret that, So
I do too. I did voice lessons because that's, I'm a singer.
Right.
But I do think it probably, would have helped me a little bit had, I learned the rules, and how you read and write music, because I think it slows me down. I'm not a very prolific writer. Eric's a really prolific songwriter, and I'm not. And I think part of it is because I'm, hunting and pecking for chords that sound good to me, where if you knew, the chord structures and the rules behind music theory, you would,
yeah, exactly.
do it faster.
Right. You feel, yeah, exactly. You feel limited, of what you
totally
can do.
Yeah. Totally feel
even,
limited.
With me and Lou, we're trying to work on new music, and I tell him, just come up with something and then we'll figure it out. If you can just come up with a riff, and then I'll do a drum thing, and then we'll just figure it out. And if I try to send him something, I don't know where to start. It's just,
yeah.
I mean,
it is.
I'm sorry, Lana, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it definitely, definitely slows me down, and it is a regret. And, it's not something, I'm sure I could take, music classes, but I got a gourmet goods shop that I got to run.
Well, in my case, I have daddy duty. I don't mean number two. I have a 3.5-year-old daughter. So, that takes up a lot of my time. And thankfully, I was able to send a couple of demos to Wayne. Well, one demo. I'm sorry, I'm lying. I just sent you one demo, which you really, really liked. And I heard progression from there. It sounds more typo negative now than Fear Factory. So I'm very happy with that. But no, recording an actual album with Wayne, hoping to have it completed and released by the end of this year. There, see, I put a timestamp on me.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
You have to put a timestamp on things. I'm telling you, because otherwise you just,
it'll just go
pushing it off. And,
Exactly.
If you have, a fire under you, kind of like, these albums came about for me with Frontiers. They'd been asking me for a while, and I was like, it just wasn't the right time. I've got an elderly mother, and I had my business, and I just didn't feel I had anything new to say. And it was like, no, I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. And then, Eric was like, they're not going to keep asking.
Yeah.
This is true.
So,
but in our case, we
chop. So I was like, well, you know what? It feels right now. So let's do it. But then it was like, okay, got to be delivered by da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, so we got to start writing, so.
Right. And in our case, we're lucky because, we don't have the pressure of a label, so it would be independently released. But yeah, I definitely think putting a timestamp on it helps. It's just, you being a songwriter yourself, inspiration can totally hit you when it hits you. And then it's like, where are you? I can relate to what you're saying before. I, was playing music live, and my sole purpose for becoming a musician was because my older brother Michael was the biggest influence. He passed away 6 years ago, and for about 1.5 years I just said, I'm retired, I don't want to do it anymore. And then out of necessity I started playing again because, well, Wayne and I live in New York. it's not cheap to live here. It's, so you got bills to pay. So it's like, okay, I'll do it for a little bit. And now I can't stop doing it. Thanks, Wayne. And
that's good. It keeps you alive,
It
it really does. I mean, I just notice it for myself, that just creating again, I didn't realize how much I missed it until we were doing it again. It's like you just get in your life rut, and Eric was off doing, Last in Line and other things, and I was doing my shop. It was cool. But now that we've started again and I have 2 more records to deliver to Frontiers, I feel alive again. Not that I was dead, but just, you kind of get renewed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I like to go a little in the Wayback Machine. I first heard of you when Secrets of Astrology was serviced to college radio. And I think that was LMB Records, Slim Records at the time.
Yes.
Yeah. And now you're on Frontiers. One question I'd like to ask you was why the label change, and was it a drastic difference? And did both still allow you the freedom as an artist to write what you wanted and put out what you wanted?
Yeah, I mean, I think you change labels often. The only label we didn't change was our Japanese record label, because they had been with me from the very, very beginning of Lana Lane back in 1995. But, labels change what they want, of course, as well. And so, we just had to decide what was right for us. And there was no hard feelings. It was just like, we don't think that is the right fit anymore for me, as far as, promotion and whatever else comes along with having a record deal. And Eric was very smart in the very inception of our careers, that he said that we will always retain publishing. Doesn't matter what kind of deal we make with somebody, we own the publishing, so that our catalog will continue on, continue on selling and giving us an income, and not having to pay back a record company in advance or anything like that. So he was very strategic in that way, that we were never starving musicians. We worked really hard because we owed so many albums. Like in the beginning, I think Eric and I were doing 3 or 4 albums a year between me, his solo, Rocket Scientist. And that is, speaking of pressure, was unreal. And we were talking about the other night, like, don't know how we did it, how we produced that much music. Secrets of Astrology was in that group as well. Under duress, kind of, it's like, gotta do it, gotta get it out. But you become this machine, and that's how it goes.
Well, I love that album so much, and it was actually #1 on my college radio charts when I sent my results to CMJ. So good stuff.
It is a good record. It's probably one of the hardest records of mine, which I like too. I like all the heavy guitars and things like that. It's nice to listen back to different albums, like where we were at the time, because it's definitely reflected in the type of music that we were recording and writing then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My first introduction was the song Nightfall. There was this this Russian website. I'm sorry, it was an illegal download. I'm sorry.
Oh, of course. Oh no, believe me. When we went to Russia,
Biden administration, do not arrest us, please. Thank you.
It was right before Napster got big, and everybody's giving Napster a problem. And I found this website. They were selling like cheap MP3s. I was like, cool, I can find so many bands here, and I did. I found a lot of bands, and you were one of them.
You found me,
and I found you, and I've been a fan ever since. But that song is one of my top favorite ones.
And somewhere in that Nobody Beats the Wiz collection back there, I'm sure Lana Lane CDs.
Let's see. There it is. I see it right
somewhere. We see Judas Priest. They're over there. So you're over there somewhere.
It's sandwiched between Quarter Flash and ABBA, I think. I don't know.
It's all alphabetical. It has to be. I'll lose everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a music collection yourself, or are you into this
but
MP3
you have yours nicely in a wall. Ours are in boxes, because when we moved, they went in a box and they are still there.
Oh my God.
Say that.
And when I moved, I had, obviously you got to put them in boxes to move them, but I instantly had to get them out of them. They always have
Well,
to
I
be
go
on
through the
display.
boxes and I take out what I want to listen to, but
Right.
yeah, they're not.
Are your
they're not.
boxes alphabetical ordered though? Are they? Do you know where you're?
No.
Oh my god, I had
That
fun
part
with it.
sucks because
Not everyone's got OCD like you, Wayne.
No, ideally that's they were before when they were
Yeah.
in a wall like that, but yeah.
CDs or records?
Mostly CDs,
Mostly
but I
CDs.
do have a big stack of records.
Yeah.
And I just got a record player again, which is very
Oh.
excited about that because
Yeah.
mine's going to be on vinyl.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, this is
Yeah.
right. And
So I get
are
to
they
play
going to
me.
release? What's that?
So I get to play me. I get to
Yeah.
play myself.
What do you think about this? How do you say it?
Vinyl Resurrection.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I personally love it because I really miss getting an album, looking at the artwork,
Right.
and it just seemed like a lot more care was put into what a cover was.
Right.
And I've tried to have that my entire career, even though we're doing it on little CDs. But the Polish artist that we use, I just find his work so mesmerizing that I wanted his work to be on each one of my records. And it would have been so much nicer if it was large,
Right.
people could really look at his work
Mm.
and that it, tells the story of what you're about to listen to.
Right.
And now, it's just a lot of people's, themselves or,
Right. Yeah.
something not quite as interesting.
Are they going to go back and reissue your older albums on the vinyl, or just this new one?
I don't know. It'll probably depend on how the sales are
Yeah.
of the vinyl, whether it's worth it for them, to do it or not.
Yeah.
But that's what I always loved about your album covers is that it really depicts the sonic experience
Right.
that
Yeah.
you're going to get when you listen to it, and I kind of miss that about album covers. I really do.
That's what I was saying. It was like, because back in the day, when you got your album, you really were like, you sat down and you listened to the entire album, whether it was with headphones or not. And you just, got immersed in the liner notes and notes from the producer. And Eric has really tried to maintain that kind of, 60s, 70s package, if you will.
Yeah.
Even though it's like trying to read it on a CD, it's like what?
Yeah, and it sucks, but it's cool to see that you're going on vinyl. But the only problem is though that I hear lately now is that the prices of vinyl are going up.
Oh well,
so,
of course,
yeah,
of course they would. It's like,
Right. Which is with everything's going up now, so you can't expect it to stay at a reasonable price forever. But I just hope that because it's everybody's into it right now, and it just sucks if it just like disappears again. So
again, right? Yeah, well, and that's why they're charging more too, because they know people are really into it and they can get it. It's like I remember going to get an album and it'd be $350.
right, I know, right?
$7 was a lot. It was like, what? $7?
Yeah, I forget it.
I tell you, my best friend picked up a vinyl copy of an original pressing of Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell, and not a scratch on it. And I swear to God on my mother, it sounded perfect. I mean, just when he put it on the turntable, put the needle down through the speakers, it's like the sound was so much better on vinyl than you could ever get on CD, cassette, or MP3.
Yeah. And the problem too is that people listen to music over computer speakers, over their, phones,
Bluetooth. Yep.
And I just don't think they get the whole, vibe that way. You just don't.
The MP3, the conversion into streaming or whatever, it loses something
Totally.
from the the original mix of the music or whatever. But
Yeah.
I guess people like quantity over quality nowadays.
Totally.
So.
And fast. Gotta have it right away. It's like,
Not me, which is why I won't just buy anything.
I know. Right now, I feel like I'm sounding like, get off my lawn. Feeling all old.
I'm there.
Old at all the young kids and they're streaming. Yeah.
I'm the same way too, though.
God.
But it's almost a necessity, to have streaming, because my new car does not have a CD player in it, so I have no choice but to, listen to Amazon Music or whatever.
I buy cars with CD players
Well, I wanted a car
just because.
a
I
new
mean,
one.
I don't. Yeah,
If I had that option, I would have got one with a CD player in it. I prefer that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I've no doubt. I'm trying to think if Eric's. His might have a CD player, but
Yeah.
it's a 2015, so his probably
So
does.
probably, no CD player now.
I'm gonna see if I can find a Lincoln or a Caddy with an 8-track player. I'm gonna go way old school.
Totally had an 8-track player back in. I had a 70 Monte Carlo in high school, and it had an 8-track in it, and I just still remember, when it changed sides, it was
Right.
it's like in the middle of a song, and they didn't even like care to like do it at the end of the song. It was like, wait, what? Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. That's how I discovered Elvis and Johnny Cash, was through my dad's 8-track player in his
love
car.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to have them too.
And then you
He
get
put
your
them on.
pencil out if it got chewed up.
Yeah.
Oh, I became the master of fixing tapes, especially when the fuzzy part fell out on the bottom. It's like,
Oh,
give me the crazy
yes.
glue.
Oh, good. That's a good trick. That's right. That little stupid little felt thing to keep it. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're coming back too now, the cassettes. So, and even some 8-tracks. Some bands have put 8-tracks out. So
Wow.
we're
Well,
all for this nostalgia thing.
what's old is new.
Yeah. Exactly.
So when's the mini disc coming back?
Yeah. That's right. Mini disc.
Reel to reel. Let's do that next.
And then floppy disks, they'll be back too.
No.
Oh, floppy disks. Yeah. Oy.
Actually, my father gave me these cameras. He was cleaning out his house, and he found these 2 cameras, and one of them had a big floppy disk that you put in there, and when you take pictures, it would just go on there and you just throw it in your computer. And I'm like,
Oh,
who's going to buy this? Nobody has even anything. I mean, I don't even know if they sell a thing to hook up to the computer to use a floppy disk anymore.
right. Well, I bet you, someone out there probably.
I know there's
Probably
USB.
has
You just bought a CD player, right? A CD recorder.
Yes, I finally bought a CD player to rip all my CDs onto my MacBook so I could put them in the audio library of my phone, because
Nice.
there's so much stuff out there that I own that's not available on streaming. So,
Oh.
now I could buy the
Good.
CDs, rip it for myself, and be like, who needs Apple Music?
That's true.
Got
I'm
it.
raging against the machine.
That's okay.
With a machine, but I digress. Anyway,
Yes.
What is the
Lana, you're still here. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I am.
We haven't chased her off yet.
What do people normally walk out on you guys? Like, okay, good
Never. I don't know
night.
why he is doing that. Why you expect her to just leave?
I don't know, a classy artist over here, and I'm acting
Oh.
like myself. It's like, come on.
Oh.
Well, at least she's not on your show. She's on Rat Salad Review.
MusicisLifepodcast.com. Shameless plug.
So anyway, what got you, or what band got you into wanting to perform, be a vocalist?
Heart.
Okay.
When I was little, I heard "Crazy on You" coming from my brother's bedroom, and I snuck in there, and he was, playing the record, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna steal that," and I stole it, and I still have that album.
Really?
So.
Wow. Very
That's
cool.
I
Dreamboat
just
Annie,
think-
correct?
Yes, because she and her sister were doing something that no other girls were doing. They were playing guitars and fronting bands and getting some commercial success. And it was just really huge to me. And I grew up in a really musical family. My mom was a singer. My cousin, Davy Vane, is a glam metal artist from the 90s. So there was always music in the house, but when I heard that, it just was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's got an amazing voice.
yeah, she does.
Yeah, and even the guitars and the way their music is too, it's very heavy, especially for that time too.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
really good. I'm not a huge Heart fan, but she does have some really good songs. And
Yeah,
her
and
voice is
they're
amazing.
just the melodies, and that was probably my first real I want to be a rock singer.
Yeah. Now, is there anybody today that you are really into? This always stumps everybody. Nobody likes anyone today. What's going on?
You can say Adele and we won't judge you for it. If you like Adele, you like Adele. I know a lot of people do.
I like Adele. I mean, I do not take anything away from her, but there are just some singers for me. I mean, I love Chris Cornell. I mean, he's not here anymore, but I absolutely loved him. That's probably the most recent artist. But as far as females go, I just can't think of anybody who gives me goosebumps. And that's kind of how I gauge my attraction to a vocalist, is like if they give me goosebumps. Like there's a singer who I work with named Kelly Keeling, who also just has a fantastic voice. But as far as like people who are out there right now, with records out, maybe I haven't looked hard enough, but from what I hear, on the radio or streaming or on my Pandora shuffle, I can't really pick anybody. That's not good.
It's not.
It's honest. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
It is honest, but
I will suggest one female vocalist, and she's
Please
actually a friend
do.
of our shows, of our show. And she's worked with us a few times on some music, but she has a blues band, and she has her own band called White Crone. She does like a heavy metal type thing with it's like a Black Sabbath type, type thing.
I would like that.
Mann.
But
Lisa Mann is her name. She's amazing.
Awesome vocalist.
She did a cover of Reason to Live from Kiss with us, which has gotten a lot of positive response.
I love that.
Played bass on it too. And she actually released her own cover of Stargazer with Vinny Appice playing drums on it. So
I did a cover of Stargazer.
the chick
We'll
rocks.
have to do a versus Lana Lane versus Lisa Mann.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that down.
Wow, same syllables in the name too. That's amazing.
Yeah, Lisa Mann.
By the way,
I
grew up
Saturday Night Fight.
Yeah, let's do it.
Round one, Hadouken. I grew up a huge fan of the Scorpions, and one of my favorite covers ever was your cover of Still Loving You. Love it. Still gives me goosebumps to this day.
That's so nice, because I got a lot of shit for that. People were like, why is she singing this song?
Well, fuck them. Anyways, moving right along.
Exactly. That was my thought. It's like, just because.
My question to you is, when you think of a cover that you want to do, like, what's your process? Is it a song that you just remember from a certain point in your life that you said you want to do it, or is it something that just resonates with you over time, or is it maybe you saying, hey, you know what, let me see if I could do it my way? Like, what's your process? It's
usually a song that really means something to me and that I come back to, and I listen to this day, a cover song. I'm trying to think if there's been any that I wanted to. There was one. I don't believe that there's a recorded version of it out there anywhere, because I did it in a performance in Japan, but it was a cover of Aerosmith's Dream On, because I just wanted to do it, and I did it, and I was like, okay, next. I did that one. So that was probably the only cover that I was curious to see what I would sound like doing, how I would sound like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting to hear. So did you not like yourself doing it, or what?
It was just keyboards and my vocal, so it was a really stripped down version of it. And I think I just envisioned it differently, in my head than what it really turned out to be. It was received really well, but for myself, I was like,
And we can always be our worst critic, I guess, too. Right?
Yeah, for
We
sure.
usually are.
Yeah.
Actually, have some people in the chat. Bushy, Nate Atchison, he says hi to Lana.
Hi.
And Metal Guru, he never heard of your music until recently.
Oh, well,
So,
where have you
I got a
been,
new
Mel?
fan.
I've been
I know,
around
right?
for 26 years.
He did say very cool, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Well, he's got a big catalog he can dive into and check out.
Definitely a huge catalog. And now we get to your album, Neptune Blue.
Yes.
Did you approach this any differently than you did on your previous album, since you haven't done an album in 10 years? Did you go about this differently?
Yes, we did. I really just wanted to record a musical compilation that really made me feel good and was able to have people sing along with the music, and that it wasn't overthought, because a lot of times, I get pigeonholed into either progressive or metal progressive, and it's like that isn't me. I'm a lot of different things,
right.
And so I wanted those elements to come out in this record. So we've got kind of bluesy stuff going on, a little Lenny Kravitz type stuff. And straight ahead rock, arranged rock, of course.
Yeah.
AOR, I guess you call it. I don't know.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I definitely hear like every album that you've released, it's kind of all in this one album. A little bit of everything on here.
Yeah, a little bit of
That's
everything.
what I really like about it.
Yeah, thank you.
Lou, you gotta stop remembering you're on mute. Just leave it off mute, Lou.
No, that would be obnoxious of me because I breathe heavy. Anyways, I have to say though, the song "Remember Me," great video, great choice of a first single, melodic, catchy, absolutely love it. So, how has the response been from fans and the press?
Yeah, so far, it probably helps that I've been gone for a long time, so a lot of them were just like, anything was like, oh my god, this is great. But it has been received really well, and Eric wrote that song. Eric actually wrote quite a few of the songs on this record, and I co-wrote probably 6, Mark McCrite and with Eric, and I think it's just a really nice mix of the type of songs, because Eric has a vast collection of synthesizers and keyboards, and he was able to use so many of them on all the songs, which is really cool, I think.
Yeah. Are you saying? Oh, I thought you were going to say something else, Lou.
No, I was going to let you ask the next question. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you guys work in a studio? Is it like a home studio, or how do you record the albums?
Yeah, we have a studio that you can't access from the house. It's got a separate entrance, and it's got Eric's big, wall of doom in there. His big his analog synthesizer, and there's a little baby grand piano in there, and a series of guitars and other synths. So and there's a vocal booth, obviously, and so I do it all there.
Yeah. Now, do the other guys come in, like the drummer and who else is on your album? I'm trying to.
Yeah, we actually recorded drums and guitar at John Payne's studio in Las Vegas, which was really fun because, like, for the first time in a few years, we all got to be together in the studio recording live, and John and I got to do background vocals, facing each other, and it was just like, wow, this is like old school. It's like the way it should be,
Right. Yeah.
Not everybody just sending tracks to
Right,
each other, because you don't really feed off of each other that way.
Right. And you get
As
a better
much.
Performance like that too. As
Yeah.
well. And it shows
Yeah.
on the album too, because you can hear it. It really does have like almost like a live feel to it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is live. I mean,
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and I love, this is the first record that Greg Ellis has done all the songs on, the drummer, and I just absolutely love him. He is a machine.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah, definitely.
he just knows exactly what to add to songs to just lift them up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I like his style too. It's being a drummer myself.
Yes.
One of the best things I could say about this album, aside from everything else, is that the production on it, we've heard stuff on Frontiers in the past that sounds great. Some of the stuff today sounds a little too compressed and overproduced, but this is a perfectly balanced album.
I will tell Eric that, because that was very important for us too, that we really wanted it to, because it was going on vinyl too, to be analog. We wanted it to sound analog, and I recorded it on a really cool mic, and the drums, Greg was just in this big, beautiful open room with just a wonderful acoustics. And so, when stuff is recorded well, there isn't any need to compress because you have the ambiance, of the room and whatever tools you're using. So I will tell Eric that because he will appreciate it.
Very cool. We actually have a couple of questions in the chat. Mark Finlayson asked Australian tour, and Metal Guru asked, I think you kind of alluded to this already before when I asked you about the difference between LMB and Frontiers, but the question was, how did you get involved with the Italian label Frontier Records, who are best known for melodic rock, AOR type bands, and pulling off these one-off supergroups?
Well, they had the Italian territory for some of my earlier records. I can't think of them at the moment, but I want to say at least 5 of my earlier records. And it was just kind of a natural progression for us to go with them because we just have our Japanese label and we weren't really doing anything on any other label at the moment. And so they, as I said, they kept asking. I was like, well, okay, we'll do it. But I did have concerns, as I told Eric, because I went to Frontiers and I looked at the other female artists that they have, and I was like, why are they asking me? Because look at these girls, I don't fit. I didn't feel like I fit, but they said because of who I am and the type of music that we do, I do fit because they try to, get different types of artists. So.
Well, I could see it fitting with a Kiske Somerville, which is the group with Michael Kiske of Halloween and Amanda Somerville.
Oh,
another Halloween mention, and not by me too. Thank you.
That was for you, Wayne. That's his favorite group. So I could see it definitely fitting along something like that. And they had 2 albums out, and they both sounded great. So, yeah, no, Lana, you're fine. You're fine. So
yeah, I think you're right.
Well, I'm just telling you, what my initial concern was, because the year before last, they asked too. And when I went and looked at the roster, I was like, I just don't think I fit. And so they came the next year and they're like, you do fit, please. So then I said, okay.
Was there another
fit?
Yeah. Was there another label you thought you might have fit with besides Frontier?
No, I'm just not looking. I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, you fit perfectly with Frontier. So.
Well, good.
I don't know what you were thinking.
And the other question.
Really good. They're super supportive. So that's good.
And the other question was Australian tour. That's from Mark Finlayson.
Oh, so sweet. We have fingers crossed for any tours. I don't know what's going to happen with, the new virus now. And that's kind of put a little bit of a damper here in California for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, we never say never. So we just will. If they ask us, we will come.
Mark, it's called return of investment. Okay. If there's investment opportunities for Lana, she'll come, but keep that in mind. Thank you. Got your back, Lana. It's all good.
That's the thing now. So many bands are canceling their tours. So nobody knows what's going on. So
it's hard. It's really hard. So, and for me, the whole social media thing is new for me. Like these videos, like were the first videos. I mean, I did one many moons ago, but that was just Eric and I out by a lake. It wasn't like, the whole, production. And I was nervous about doing it. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And it just kind of came natural. It was like, I just pretended like I was playing, like, doing a show. And it was fun, actually.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it after finally doing it.
You think you're going to do some more videos?
I don't know. We've done 3. There's one more that'll come out for this album. And then, we'll have to get working on the next record, of course.
Yeah.
So, but
I
I don't
need
know.
an editor. I'll do it for free for you. It's all good.
And yeah, you know what? Eric would love you for that, because poor Eric had to edit the videos. And he's like, I don't look at your face. I don't look at your face every day and now every night.
Sir, be glad she's yours, okay?
Oh, poor guy.
Funny. Let's see. One of the songs on here, Don't Disturb the Occupants. Explain. That is a strange story.
It is a strange story, and it's another Eric song, and he was inspired by a Doctor Who episode, and I don't remember what episode it was, which he would be very mad at me, I'm sure. And it was kind of like, you know, I wrote one that was kind of like the Stepford Wives on I don't know if it was an El Dorado Hotel, or I forget which one of my records. And so it's kind of like that song where, you know, it's kind of sci-fi, don't know who's around the corner.
Right.
Are they robots?
Yeah, that one is pretty. It was funny just, you know, hearing. You know, 'cause you always wonder what your neighbors are doing, you know, especially my neighbor, one neighbor, she never leaves the house. And
that's weird.
She goes out once in a while. She came over to give my son a Christmas present or whatever, a birthday present. Other than that, she's never outside at all.
Oh,
so, I don't know.
She live alone?
No, she got a husband.
Oh, does
That's
he
why she
leave the
stays
house?
home.
He leaves the house. He has a job. Yeah. Just
Oh.
Well, I'd have to. I definitely can't wait to check that out. I'm old school Doctor Who fan, so that would be cool to listen to. So
Yeah, listen to it and see if you can remember what episode. I think it was a newer episode. I want to say it was the one.
I can name all the villains. Was it the Weeping Angels?
Oh, those were good. I love the Weeping Angels.
Yeah,
right.
I did not freeze the camera this time.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, it was like the guys, they were bald and they had really long arms. And if you saw them, you would forget. Oh,
The Silence.
the story. It was like
The Silence.
That's right. I believe so. So that was the episode that inspired.
I have a t-shirt that says warning, silence has fallen, and it's one of the Silence guys slipping on a banana peel.
Oh,
I'm a nerd, Lana. I'm a geek.
I'm glad, no, but I'm glad you
solved the mystery.
I'm kind of a nerd. My Eric is more nerdy. Nerdier.
I've never seen an episode of that show ever.
Oh, really? Oh, they're fun. Even the really old ones are fun.
One day.
But you have to like. Do you like science fiction or?
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta like it.
We actually have the hosts of the show, Just the Cheese Please, coming on the show on Wednesday, and Wayne recommended the movie, and I forever hate him for recommending this piece of crap.
What movie?
It's a movie called Motorama from 1993 with cameo appearances from Drew Barrymore, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and
sounds
random people. No,
I like to torture my guests.
It's a David Lynch film that seemed like it was written on crack, except David Lynch had nothing to do with it.
David Lynch. That's how I felt about that weird movie that he did, Highway or something.
Lost Highway.
Yes. I was like, this is just weird. I mean, I like weird stuff, but it was just like, anyway.
I just like to torture people.
Yes, you do. You sadist.
Terrible movies. But besides the song "Remember Me," which is one of my favorites on here, another one of my favorites is Lady Mondegreen.
Yeah,
I love the melodies in that song.
Now, do you know what a Mondegreen is?
No clue.
So my husband likes to put little literary gems in songs, and a Mondegreen is when a listener hears the lyrics incorrectly. So the story there is the actual lyrics were, and they laid him on the green, but the person heard it as Lady Mondegreen, Lady Mondegreen. And so,
Gotcha.
and there's a lot of those, you know, like if you think of songs and people are singing lyrics and you're like, what are you singing?
Right, of course, yeah.
That's not the lyrics. So that's a Mondegreen.
All right, cool.
So
I had no idea. Yeah, I always watch those misheard lyrics on YouTube. Those are kind of funny.
And I didn't know what a Mondegreen was either. And I was like, who's Lady Mondegreen? And Eric's like, well, you should ask. And then he told me the whole story. So always learning from that guy.
It sounds like he knows a lot of stuff.
He does. He's
a smart guy.
He is very well. He's a English major, and he's he's a smart one.
Sounds like it. What, Lou? You're on mute again. Come on.
Sorry, I said it's always the keyboard
because the finger is moving.
He's not even.
It's always the keyboard players you need to worry about. You don't know what they're thinking.
And it's like I mentioned before, the song Miss California, it mentions all the places that you've been. Is there a favorite place that you've been to?
Well, Japan is really awesome. Just the, there's so many people, and just the organization of just their everyday life. Even just walking down the street, there's so many people, but it's just organized, and they're just really respectful with each other. And like the cabs there, the doors open automatically, so you don't ever have to touch anything. The drivers wear white gloves, and they got little doilies on the, it's really, really cool. And, they're just packed in with each other, in apartments and things like that. And just the ingenuity of tiny things that, that they work in their life. It's just little toilets, little kitchens, just, it's amazing what they come up with, to make these little spaces work. It's like, you don't need a lot of space, obviously.
Now, was it hard to get used to that when you were there?
A little bit. And, and Eric's tall, so every doorway, he duck into, and the way business works there too is, even if you go to dinner, let's say you go to dinner with, we went to dinner with a record company, and, you have a drink or whatever, if there's a bottle of wine on the table, let's say, you do not fill your own glass.
Really?
They will refill your glass. Just stuff, stuff like that, little things like that you kind of learn when you're there, so that you don't look like a rude American.
Right.
Filling up my glass again. Oh,
just give me the bottle.
Yeah.
What was your favorite cuisine to have in Japan when you were there?
This is going to sound weird, but it was eel that we had gone to, and I like fish, not I would opt for a steak, but I wanted to experience, this specialty. We were at the specialty restaurant, and it just was just the way it was prepared. Tiny, again, just perfectly cut and sliced, and it was kind of sweet and then not chewy. It was really good. It was awesome. I mean, I like Japanese food anyway, but that in particular was something that I would never have ordered, but it was part of this, big dinner. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. I was like, I like it. Eric hated it because we told him it was chicken. And then he was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. And I was like, it's eel. And he's like, God damn you.
I like eel avocado sushi, so I can relate. So
I have never tried eel avocado sushi. Maybe I shall.
Cool.
Avocados.
I will.
Not trying it.
But Eric doesn't like fish, so we barely, sushi's just not on the menu. But try it.
Get him a T-bone. It's all right.
Yeah.
Does eel taste like chicken at all, or no?
No.
I mean, no, but it just because that's what he thought it was, and it had, just the way it was prepared and the way it looked.
Right.
Chicken.
Whatever you like. That's all right. Is there a favorite song off of this new album for you? I mean, I'm sure you like them all. It's hard to pick one of them, but is there one that sticks out for you the most?
Oh, it is hard to pick one, but
It's like
would
asking her to
say-
name her favorite kid, Wayne. I mean,
that's
come
why I said
on.
it.
No,
probably
I
hard.
know. I understand what he's
I asked the
saying. though.
tough questions.
For me, I really love Someone Like You.
Okay.
That was just a really uplifting song that I had so much fun recording. And I also love Neptune Blue, which is the last song on the
Right,
album
yep.
that I wrote. I would say those are my two favorites. If I had to pick favorites,
Yeah.
it would be those.
Those are two good ones then. Is there anything like a personal, because you like you said, you haven't wrote the album, you haven't done any albums in 10 years. Did you write anything personal, like what happened with your father or any kind of family related stuff in this album at all?
No, but what was really important for Eric and I was there was so much shit from the past, 3 to 4 years. And then with the pandemic and everything else, it was just, the music sounded angry. I thought the new music that was coming out, and people just looked and felt like they had lost something, lost their spark. And I just wanted to have an ongoing theme that, kind of took you away into like a little fantasy land, if you will, to make yourself feel better and to just know that things do get better. I mean, things have to come back around, and you have to look at I'm sounding like Monty Python now, the bright side of life. Because it's the only way to live, I think, because otherwise, what's the point?
Right. Yeah.
If you're just going to be angry and hateful. And so I just wanted to make a record that was not that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you accomplished that very well.
Good.
And again, just like we had one of our first guests of the year, Matt Barlow from the band Ashes of Aries. I told him his album's definitely going to be one of my favorites that I've heard so far this year. And I think
nice.
Your album's right against there as well.
Thank you.
I really like it a lot, and I think it's going to be a good. I hope it. Hopefully, you have a lot of sales, and it's going to be a big hit for you.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and and if it doesn't, it's
you got a contract.
So that's okay too. It's like got to. Making music is an honor. So if people don't relate to it, that's okay. It's like who told me this? It's like if you believe your good reviews, you have to listen to the bad reviews too. The people who, because that's the balance. You can't just read what you want to read.
Right.
So.
Or you could believe you could be like Ingve and just believe no reviews, except believe what's in here. That's it.
Yeah. And I do. I mean, I believe what's in here, and I sometimes I see comments from Frontiers listeners that are totally into metal, and so I get bad reviews, and it's like, well, why are you listening to me? You can see that I'm not a metal artist, so just move along. You don't need to punch me in the face. Just move along. Go listen to what you want to listen to.
Right.
But you get a tough skin over the years. I mean, everybody's not going to love you, and that's so hard to believe.
I know, right? Come on.
I mean, it's funny that you say that, because when I, again, being a college radio DJ and in my younger years, your music was service to, well, they called it loud rock, but it was supposed to be all gamuts of hard rock. So it was metal, it was death metal, black metal, progressive metal, all that,
all the metals.
And cadmium. Anyways, no. But I mean, to me, I was always looking for something that was different than what the mainstream was promoting as metal, and I found it here, and I definitely hear metal influences in there, but I mean, what I love about your music is that it sounds like you doing music that is true and honest to who you are as an artist, as a singer, and I could see how it resonates with, you said European audiences, especially Japanese audiences,
Yeah.
because, well, it seems as though to me they still care about that kind of honesty and heart in music. So
yeah, and songs, sometimes I just am confused when I listen to something new and it's like that is not a song. There's not a chorus there, or there's not a B verse. It's like, there's not a story either. It's just, anyway, that's for another time.
No problem.
I digress.
Hey,
that's my line. No.
What, the I digress?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, wait, I didn't have any further questions. I was just adding to what you were asking. So
all right, cool. So the album comes out on the 28th, right?
28th, yeah.
Okay, very cool.
4 more days. It's already out in
I saw somebody
Europe.
had it, a picture of it already.
Yeah,
I
know. Someone on my Facebook page was like, look what came in the mail today. And I'm like, we don't even have ours.
Really?
So no, we don't.
It's always nice.
We have the masters.
Right.
Very good.
But we don't have like the booklet and all that.
So hopefully you get it soon.
Yes.
And
Better.
everybody get that Frontiers Records. It's called Neptune Blue. It's a really cool album. Please listen to it and you will enjoy it. Oh, the other one thing I was going to ask you, and
Yes.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of if you had any guest, like a duet vocalist with anybody on your albums, on the past albums. You never did that, right? I know you've been on other albums.
I did. No, Mark Bowles and I did a duet.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm trying to remember. It's just you see behind me. I got a lot of CDs. I can't remember.
He was the only on mine, but yeah, I've guested on a lot of different progressive albums where I've sang duet with someone, but Mark Bowles was on mine.
Yeah,
he's a great talent.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Is there anybody you would maybe want to work with to do a duet with, maybe on the next album, or maybe the next album after that, or whatever?
You could say us. We'll do it.
Luke can't sing.
You guys, yeah. No, I don't know. As far as a singer goes, I don't. It's a good question. Bruno Mars.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Hey, Bruno, watch.
I love
Listen.
him.
He's actually in the chat. He says yes.
He says yes, yes.
And
He's listening to the podcast right now. Who would have thought?
I think he just wrote Uptown Funk You Up. Yes, Lana, of course.
Oh, cool.
Or the other one, Smoking Out the Window. Or no, that's actually that other group that he's singing with. But anyway, off the top of my head, I would say Bruno Mars.
Oh, that'd be very interesting.
Any upcoming performances that you want to promote, or anywhere where people could buy merchandise, any like T-shirts or anything like that?
No, we have we have some concert shirts left from a long time ago, but hardly any. And we haven't done any more merch. That usually comes along with tours. That's where the merchandise comes in. So we'll see. Maybe.
Hope so.
Some little girl tank tops.
That would look fabulous on me. No, just kidding.
All right, and there's a website people can go to.
Yep, it's lanalane.com.
Very easy.
Yep.
lanalane.com. And then again, your gourmet website.
LanaLaneGourmetGoods.com.
Very cool. Please, everybody, go buy the new album. Go
Oh,
buy some scones and some jellies and
some spicy jam.
yeah. Maybe we'll get some in the mail.
Do jalapeno whiskey mustard.
Maybe she'll send us some, Lou. You never know.
Come on.
No, I plan on buying, Wayne. I support people I like. Okay, I'm no mooch.
All right, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but we do once in a while record cover songs. Would you ever like to join us on a cover song?
Maybe, yeah.
You don't have to say
I'd
yes.
like to
No,
hear
it's
it.
Okay. Yeah.
If it's a song I like.
We'll run it by you before we
Yeah.
do anything. But yeah, I think
Do
that'd be
that.
pretty cool.
It would be an honor to have you on one. That would be great.
We try to do one.
Aw.
Anybody who comes on our show, we try to do one with them. So it's been fun.
Like an album of all stars.
Yeah, kind of. It's been pretty cool. if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see there's a playlist that has all our cover songs, which is only 6 of them or whatever so far. But
yeah, so far we've done Van Halen, Iron Maiden, Kiss, Alice Cooper, Def Leppard, and for the love of God,
what
Wayne.
Def Leppard song did you do?
Oh, we did On Through the Night. It's actually going to be on the Def Leppard tribute album coming out soon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very cool.
Because
Wait, I'm sorry, Lana, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because we got to see Viv play with Def Leppard, because Viv was in last in line, and we just had these awesome seats, and I was just like, I was like a little schoolgirl. It's like, sit down, please. Vivian's looking. I'm like, I don't care. It was fun.
That's one of my first bands basically ever. I never got to see them live though.
Oh, they're great. Well, I never saw them, when they were younger, but they're still great.
Yeah. Stradivarius was the other song.
Right, Stradivarius, Hunting High and Low. So,
are you a Stradivarius fan, Lana?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, I don't know.
You know Tim Tolkien? Sorry.
No.
Oh, you don't know him? All right, he's the guitar player.
No, I've heard. I've probably heard some songs through Eric, maybe, but I can't say that I know a lot of material.
Interesting. We should hook him up.
I know the name for sure. Faux show.
Yeah, he's a good guitar player. Anyway,
well, it's funny because we only started doing the covers. This was after Eddie Van Halen, who is a personal hero of mine. After he passed away, and Wayne said, "You want to do a Van Halen cover?" And I said, "Sure." You want to try Atomic Punk, or was it you who recommended? I think we both said, "Yeah, let's do Atomic Punk."
Really know that song. Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it got like almost 500. No, I think it's over 500 views at this point. Yeah. And then we just said, let's keep it going. I mean, we were in a pandemic. We couldn't go out and perform live anywhere, so we're just like, let's just keep it going. And it's fun.
It is fun to do covers.
Did you ever think
I have 2 albums.
Yeah. Did you ever think of doing, because a lot of bands were doing like online shows, did you ever think of doing any kind of live online thing, like acoustically?
No, but we might. It's kind of hard because everybody is on different parts of the country. And now that we're in Northern California, we're farther away from Mark and Dawn and that whole group, and Jeff Coleman is back east, and Greg Ellis is in Southern California, so it'd just be kind of hard.
But
you could be just Eric and I.
But that would work.
Yeah, maybe.
I think you should work.
Maybe.
Whatever you do, we'll gladly promote and support it. So
okay.
All right.
Well, if we do that, you will be the first to know.
All right, cool. And you heard that here on Rat Salad Review.
Yes.
So again, Lana, thank you very much for coming on the show. And
my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We wish you all the luck with the new album, Neptune Blue, coming out on the 28th of January.
Yes, sir.
Tears Records.
Awesome.
All right, guys, we will see you next. Actually, no, we will be live again on Wednesday watching a terrible movie, Motorama.
I curse the day you were born, Wayne Noon.
But it's going to be fun anyway, regardless. So join us on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on that. And we will see you guys then. Bye-bye.